All right, welcome to Spearhead Leadership's Bachelor Leadership Lessons Part 1, where we follow along the Bachelor on ABC and Joey in his quest to find love through the chaotic waters of this national television show. By the way, there's going to be spoilers, so if you haven't watched previous episodes, go watch those episodes first before you watch these videos, otherwise, spoilies. So, we're going to talk about some leadership examples that pop up throughout the series as we go along the journey with Joey to learn about some of the good things that are being done on the leadership side and how you can incorporate those leadership principles into your own lives as well. So right off the bat, first one here, Lexi. Lexi had a very vulnerable moment in her one-on-one date last night with Joey where she opened up about her condition, endometriosis, and the issues behind it, and the struggle she had to deal with, and the future potential issues that she has to navigate through as well. That right there was a huge leadership aspect that I don't think a lot of people realize is a leadership trait right there. But by being open and vulnerable, you're not only being relatable and building rapport with somebody, but you're building that trust. You're letting them know that you're a real human being. You have issues that you have to deal with, and you're not trying to hide or cover or create some facade of being super strong all the time. You're opening yourself up, and that in turn builds trust, that builds respect, that builds a good rapport, and there's not that disconnect that you'll see if you close yourself off all the time. It's a very tough thing to do because people don't like opening up because they don't want to get hurt all the time, but her doing that was an absolutely awesome leadership move. I know it must have been tough for her, but she found the strength to do it, and it's one of the reasons why she's in my top 2 for frontrunners right now for this show. Also, Daisy in a couple previous episodes did the same thing where she opened up about her condition, and again, really great stuff on the leadership aspect of it to build that relationship and be okay being vulnerable. Joey responded excellently in both instances where he allowed them to feel comfortable and safe being able to open up about stuff like that. And that was a great leadership aspect on his end, a great trait on his end by being able to do that and being understanding. And that's the stuff that builds that strong relationship, that strong bond, is being open and vulnerable and then also feeling safe to be open and vulnerable. So great job on all accounts there. Same thing a little bit with Medina later in the same episode last night where she opened up to Joey about how she's usually closed off and reserved because she doesn't want to get hurt all the time. And again, Joey responded excellently and kind, and that built their stronger relationship together, that built trust. It was tough for Medina to open up like that, but really quality stuff right there. The next thing we're going to get into here in my notes, Joey's handling of the Maria, Sydney drama, chaotic circus act. How you doing? Now, again, spoilers. You got to go back and watch the previous episodes to know how this all started between Sydney and Maria, but it came to a head in this episode where Joey had to make some decisions based on rumors and gossip and what have yous, and I think he did a great job navigating and leading through that situation, as tough as it was, and with the little information he had available to him, he did a quality job. He gathered intel. He gathered all the information from both sides and analyzed it all before making a snap judgment or a wrong decision or making any sort of judgments incorrectly, which is a great leadership trait in and of itself, being able to gather all the information, critically analyze before letting your emotions get the best of you and making rash decisions, inappropriately. So he did a great job doing that. He effectively communicated out to both ladies the situation at hand, why he's doing what he's doing, why he's having these conversations with both of them, why he has them on this double date, and what he needs in order to make a decision moving forward. And he effectively communicated that to both of them, and that was another great thing. Again, in the moment, that stuff is very difficult to do. So you got to give props to Joey being able to do that, not only to both of them in the heat of the emotional moment, but also on national television with all these cameras and people watching too. So great job on Joey. That whole analyze, assess, then act, beautifully done by Joey. Great work. The last one I want to talk about today is Medina. Now, Medina was a friend of Sydney's, and Sydney ended up exiting the show based on the previous situation we just talked about. And instead of acting inappropriately or childishly to Maria coming back to the house with all the rest of the gals. Medina showed professionalism, friendliness, maturity. She welcomed her back with open arms, understanding that even though she liked Sydney more, she was more friendly with Sydney, Maria is still part of this competition. She's not a bad person, and they're going to move forward amicably. And even when Medina got called out for this, for flip-flopping her emotions and her feelings and making it look like she's being fake, in that moment, Medina could have very easily pushed back and taken jabs and fought off, emotionally being called out for that stuff, but she handled that as professionally and maturely as possible in the moment. She stuck to her guns, said that I have to be professional and mature here. It's the childish thing to do if I act negatively towards the fact that my friend just got voted off. So another great job. She didn't do any of that. She handled it very well and professionally in the moment. One more thing I liked about that whole situation is even though I didn't agree with Leia pulling her aside and calling her out for that, I do appreciate that Leia did pull her aside and have a one-on-one discussion. That's another quality leadership trait. As opposed to calling somebody out in public, you have the conversation privately, like mature adults, to try to handle it in-house first before you start making public declarations and angrily, calling people out like that. So great stuff on this episode. I'm excited to see what goes on in the next episode tonight on 13 February. So stand by, stay tuned for more leadership lessons via The Bachelor. This is a great show. Don't forget to tune in and follow for more goodness right here. Again, my front runners right now are Daisy and Lexi. They're both doing phenomenal jobs, and Joey's doing phenomenal as well. So is Jesse Palmer. What a stud. Love you guys. Stay strong.